Greetings, this is Kevin McPeak continuing the Leadership and Technology series, and I'm here in Cupertino, California with Mr. Axel Wirth, who is who's a Symantec Distinguished SE and Architect for Healthcare. Axel, thank you so much for speaking to me tonight.
Sure.
Thanks, Axel. So, Axel, it seems to me that every day I'm looking in the news and there's a lot of information about large enterprise breaches where sensitive customer data and internal data is lost and compromised. And every day when I read these stories, it seems like the size of the breaches are getting larger and larger and the financial impact greater and greater. Are you seeing this occurring in healthcare as well?
Yeah, healthcare is no different. We see the same trends in the healthcare industry. And most interestingly, as of last year, the data we have collected and others have reported on would indicate that actually criminal attacks, data breaches due to criminal attacks, are actually a larger problem in healthcare than the previous issue, which was lost or stolen devices.
Why are criminals going after healthcare?
Healthcare data is very rich. It's your medical record, it's your personal data, it's even physical descriptors like your height and your weight and your eye color and you name it. It's also your financial data. As you pay for health services, it is in many cases your address, your next of kin. So it's really a very rich data set, and what we see in the underground economy is really that healthcare data is worth much more than, for example, credit card data or email addresses and similar things. And in fact, we've heard that healthcare data is being paid for 50 times as much as credit card data.
No kidding. So what you're saying is cyber criminals harvest healthcare records and then they resell it on a secondary illegal marketplace where there are consumers who buy that healthcare information.
For various purposes, everything from identity theft to healthcare services theft, to drug abuse and prescription theft.
I never thought
so
of that.
So very broad range how healthcare data can be monetized.
But let me ask you this. I know large healthcare enterprises all the way down to individual family physician and small clinics, all these types of entities, because they deal with healthcare, don't they have to comply with HIPAA, and doesn't HIPAA requirements keep all of this safe?
Fundamentally, yes, but there are a number of things to discuss here. One thing is that HIPAA is compliance and not necessarily security. Right? HIPAA gives you a framework, it sets the environment, it gives you the rules you should follow, but it doesn't say anything on how well you actually follow the rules.
Interesting.
Secondly, anything compliance is usually very well controlled, policy and procedure driven, carefully implemented, whereas in security you need to be nimble because the attacks you face today are different than the attacks you faced yesterday.
Right, the cyber criminals keep iterating and changing their methods.
So just looking at HIPAA does not give you any indication of security. And then I think lastly, I think many healthcare organizations actually have done a poor job with HIPAA to begin with, that they have taken more like a checklist approach. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, rather than have tried to implement a meaningful execution of the HIPAA security rule and have translated that to a nimble security approach.
That's a shame. So they do it like a check the box as opposed to, so they comply with the letter of the regulation, but maybe not the spirit of it, to really lock down and harden the patient medical records.
Right, not the tactical part, and they could withstand, I assume, the HIPAA audit, but not necessarily criminal attack, which is something very different.
Right, they'll pass the audit but fail the cyber attack.
Right.
Axel, you've really educated me quite a bit about the challenges of healthcare organizations. It definitely seems like a very different industry from some of the other market sectors that I've taken a good look at from a cybersecurity perspective. Do you have any other examples you'd like to share?
There are some significant differences. We already talked about the value of the data, so we covered that, but also the complexity of the infrastructure.
Okay.
Healthcare has many more devices that need to be protected. everything from your traditional servers and workstations all the way down to actually medical devices, imaging equipment, diagnostic equipment, patient monitors, you name it, which is all on the network nowadays. And which
all those devices are network addressable.
Has become a very large security concern. And in fact, we have evidence that those medical devices are exploited as a weak entry point for an attack.
Okay.
Because they are poorly protected.
So it becomes a sort of a beachhead for some type of a rootkit or something to be deployed.
Attack on something else, yeah.
Interesting.
They're the weakest link, right? Another big difference is also the variance across the different aspects of a healthcare organization. The radiology department is very different than your emergency room, than your back office administration, and that complexity makes it difficult to manage.
That makes perfect sense.
And then your last point to make is probably that in general it is much more difficult to enforce security in healthcare because you're always running the risk that any security measure you implement could potentially interfere with care delivery and patient health.
Which would be catastrophic in and of itself.
It could be. Like, simple example, if I go to an ATM, enter the wrong PIN 3 times, I'm locked out, rightfully.
Correct.
If a doctor in the emergency room at the end of a 24-hour shift has issues with entering the right password, I can't lock the doctor out because that could impact
the next patient that's coming in the emergency room.
Yeah. So many differences, I think, healthcare relative to other industries, which make it very difficult to implement good security in healthcare. And I think the key point is that the right approach requires a good partner who can not only provide the products but also the advice on how to actually execute in the healthcare environment.
And then the ongoing cyber posture, cyber defense, it's not a one and done activity.
Right.
It's a perpetual activity that you have to keep on top of.
And very well tuned to the restrictions you need to deal with in healthcare.
Exactly. Axel, I really want to thank you for your time. I've learned a great bit in our discussion here. I just want to say, mission first, people always. Thank you.
Thank you.